Hello and welcome to another video by the Bearded Tech Guy. In this video, we will be taking a look at 8 different litter brands and how they perform with the Litter Robot 3 Connect. This testing will also be the same for the regular Litter Robot 3. I first started out using Purina Tidy Cat's Free and Clean Unscented litter, which was the litter I used before getting the Litter Robot 3 Connect. And while I enjoyed the unscentiness of the litter, and it worked fine for normal scooping, it just didn't work that great with the Litter Robot. The main issue I had with it was that a lot of clumps would streak along the side of the Litter Robot. For the different litters I tested, I looked at how much dust was made when pouring it, how much dust there was when the Litter Robot cycled, how much tracking happened over the course of 2 weeks, the amount of mess the litter left over the course of 2 weeks, the smell of the litter itself, and the ability of the litter to control odor. I'd like to mention that this video is not sponsored by anyone. I did this because there was a really good deal on litter at Target, so I decided to pick up a few different ones to try out with them being so cheap. I will have links in the description below for all the different litters tested in this video, along with links to all of my other litter robot and pet related smart home videos. For my ratings, all scores are out of 10, and the lower the number the better. All litters scored a 0 on the smell rating, which is really good. The Purina Tidy Cat's Free and Clean Unscented litter was rated at a 2 for dust while pouring, 0 for dust while cycling, 2 for the overall dust profile, 2 for litter tracking, and got a 7 for mess rating. Next is a litter from Up & Up, which is a Target brand, and the dust profile on it was so bad I didn't even test it out fully. I tried taking a video of pouring out the litter just to show how much dust was made. This litter makes so much dust, it was the only litter I tested that actually made dust while the Litter Robot cycled. Next up is Arm & Hammer Clump Seal. This one made 0 dust when being poured out, and had 0 dust while cycling in the litter box. Litter tracking was a bit higher compared to the Tidy Cat's, scoring a 3. The mess rating for this litter was also a 3. Up next is Fresh Step Clean Paws Low Tracking Litter, Unscented. This one scored a 2 for dust while being poured, 0 for dust while cycling, with an overall dust profile of 2. Litter tracking was also a 2, and mess rating was a 3. Next is Arm & Hammer Clump Seal Slide. This one also scores 0s across the dust categories, similar to the non-slide version tested before. It seems Arm & Hammer really knows how to keep dust out of their litter. Unfortunately, litter tracking was pretty high with a rating of 5, with a large amount being caught on the steps and litter mat under the Litter Robot. Litter past the mat was very minimal, but the ratings for this testing is only based on the steps and the litter mat. The overall mess rating for this litter comes in at a 4. The first week I was actually very happy with the way it was performing, but after the second week I started to notice some buildup on the sides of the Litter Robot. I'd like to take a quick moment to mention that if you are planning on picking up a Litter Robot 3 or Litter Robot 3 Connect, there is a link in the description below that will help you save $25 off the purchase. Using that link or any of the other links in the description below provides a small referral bonus to the channel at no cost to you, which is then used to make videos just like this one or used on upgrading equipment to help make video production better. Moving along, we get to Fresh Step Simply Unscented. This one shared similar scoring as the low tracking version, with 2 for the dust pour, 0 for dust while cycling, with an overall dust profile of 2. As far as comparing the tracking capability differences, I didn't visually notice too much of a difference, but there are too many outside factors to be able to really judge if the low tracking version does a better job of tracking or not. So for me it scored a 2 as well. Mess score also came in at a 3. Next is a highly recommended brand that I was really expecting to be the best, and that is Dr. Elsey's Ultra Litter. This one was so recommended I ended up buying a larger 40-pound bag just because I assumed it was going to win. The dust score while pouring came in at a 5. This one was actually the most dusty out of the litter I tested besides the Up & Up brand. During cycling, no dust was noticeable, which is great. So this litter gets an overall dust profile of 5. Litter tracking also scored a bit on the higher side with a 4. My litter mat did do a good job of keeping it contained, but there was still a decent amount on the steps. This litter scored a 2 for its mess rating. And finally, in this litter comparison, we have Fresh Step Ultra Unscented. This was actually a late submission and was suggested by someone in another one of my YouTube videos. So thanks for the recommendation and great timing. This litter gets a 1 for dust while being poured, gets a 0 for while cycling, which gave it an overall dust profile of 1. It did get a 4 for litter tracking. Again, the litter mat caught pretty much all of it, which is good, but there is still some tracking. This litter gets a 1 for its mess rating. Overall, it does a great job of not making too much of a mess on the side of the litter box, which is the main reason I wanted to change litters. And because I'm able to contain the tracking issue with my Litter Robot steps and the litter mat, I plan to stick with this litter for the foreseeable future. Keep in mind that I did try to be consistent with all my scoring, but because of how spread out the testing was, as well as different variables in my home compared to yours, your experiences may be different than mine. What litter do you like using? Let me know in the comments below, and if I get enough suggestions, I will look into comparing more litters to the ones I've already tested. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up as it helps out the channel immensely. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to be one of the first to know when I release a new video. Thank you for watching.